Hey guys, we are getting ready to start a new unit on multiplying decimals, and today we're going to talk all about how we can multiply decimals by powers of 10. When you guys think about multiplying decimals, I want you to just think about using what we know about multiplying whole numbers, and we're going to look for patterns in our numbers to really make this feel really not very hard. And so let's just go ahead and jump in, and I've got a problem here that we're going to solve together. And it says a baker has a 10-pound bag of pecans and a 100-pound bag of flour. But we want to know how many cups we have of each. So if you look at our information here, we know that we have 3.63 cups of flour and we have 4.2 cups of pecans. So hopefully you've said to yourself, well, Mrs. Pickett, we need to multiply 10 times 4.2 and 100 times 3.63, right? Because we know that's we have 10 pounds and 100 pounds and then however many cups are in each bag. So I want to show you guys a pattern. See if you notice the pattern in multiplying with tens and decimals. So here I've created a chart I really want you to look at and see if you can establish a pattern for what's happening each time we multiply by 10. So in my first column here, I've got my standard form. Okay, so this is going to be 10, 100, and 1,000, and written in exponents, we have 10 to the first, 10 to the second, and 10 to the third. So when we multiply 3.63, or 3 and 63 hundredths, times 10, I get 36.3. When I do that same thing with 100, I'm going to get 363, and when I multiply by 1,000, I'm going to get 3,630. So my question for you is, what's happening every time? Hopefully you're noticing that the decimal is moving. So in our first one, when we multiplied by 10, my decimal moved from here over 1 to the right to get 3.63. Okay? So my decimal moved one place to the right, so instead of being 3.63, it's now 36 and 3/10. So same over here. When I multiply by 100, I'm going to move two places to the right, 1, 2, because I have two zeros in 100, so 3 and 63 hundredths turns into 363. As you know, as we continue, the pattern also continues. So you keep moving a place with your decimal to the right. So if my pattern were to continue, and I wanted to do 10,000, which equals 10 to the fourth power, and I wanted to multiply that by 3.63 times 10 to the fourth, what do you think I would get? Hopefully you said 36,300. Because again, I'm going to keep moving that decimal place forward and forward and forward. So if I kind of revert back to that first problem that I had 100 times 363. So I know I have two zeros here, so my decimal is going to move two places to the right. 1, 2. So it would be 363 with nothing after it. So my number is 363. Okay? Now, if I did that same thing with my cups of pecans, I would say 10 times 4 and 2/10. My decimal place is going to move one place to the right because I have 1 0 to get 42 cups. Okay, so let's just do one more of that. Let's say I had 3.7 and I'm multiplying that by 10 to the fourth power. So the first thing I need to do is say, okay, well, what is 10 to the fourth power mean? So that's 3 and 7/10 times 10,000. Okay, so I know I need to move my decimal over 4 times because I have 4 zeros. So I have 3, 7, so I moved it over once. Move it 1 time. Now I need to move it 2 times, 3 times, 4 times. So how many zeros am I going to add in there? Hopefully you said 3 to get me the answer of 37,000. Okay, let's go ahead and try one more here. So we've got 8 and 2/10 times 10 to the second power. So I'm going to say, all right, I know that 10 to the second power is really 100. So I'm going to take 8 and 2/10 and I'm going to multiply that by 100. Okay, and I know when I have 100, I need to move my decimal 2 places to the right. All right, so if I go down here and I write 8 and 2/10, I'm going to move that decimal 1 place, 2 places. So because I don't have anything sitting right here, I'm going to put a 0 there to get the answer of 820. Guys, thanks so much for watching. Hopefully you understand the patterns that we can see with our tens and our decimals. Remember, use what you know about multiplication and whole numbers to help you with decimals. So our joke for today is, which vegetable should you never invite on a boat trip? See you soon.